Yesterday, that is on 12th of December, Tata Consultancy Services announced their results, and there was a very good announcement regarding buyback of shares. Buyback of shares, it was reflected in today's stock market, which closed today, that is on 13th of January, at the rate of 3,898, showing the trend, yesterday's trend, which was reflected in today's share market. Now, let us try to understand the concept of buyback. In the next slide, it's a small slide. I'll make it very clear what is a buyback and how it is done. Let us go to the next slide. Actually, buyback comes under the Income Tax Act 115 QA. 115 QA. Before going to the taxation part of that, let us understand what actually is a buyback. Share buyback explained. Yesterday, TCS informed that it would buy back shares of at the rate of 4,500 rupees per each share or per piece, aggregating 18,000 crores, corresponding to almost 1.08% of the total share capital. That's a good news. Now, when a company buys its own shares, what actually happens is it results in a reduction of the number of shares outstanding as well as the capital base. The capital base starts coming down. To that extent, it improves the EPS. EPS means earning per share, and the ROE, that is rate of what is it? Rate of return, rate of earnings of the company. When the EPS goes up, assuming that the price earning ratio remains constant, the price of the stock should always go up. Imagine a situation where the capital gets reduced, means the capital becomes more precious. More precious means it gets reflected in the share market value. That is a concept of share buyback, where the capital over a period of time gets reduced, thereby increasing the value of the existing shares. So this is the meaning of share buyback. Now, what are the tax implications of this? The government extended the buyback tax to listed firms from July 2019. Actually, what happened? Before July 2019, only unlisted shares had the taxation part, and the listed shares were exempted from the taxation part. So from 2019 July, both became taxable, that is listed as well as unlisted. Both listed and unlisted companies are now required to pay the tax at, make a note of this, are required to pay the tax at 20% plus surcharge at 12% and health and education cess at 4%, aggregating to 23.3% of the distributed income. Okay, I hope you're all clear. The company itself has to pay this much of tax. In the year April 2020, the government abolished the dividend distribution tax and introduced a withholding tax on payment of dividends by companies. As a consequence, shareholders are now required to pay income tax on dividend income. Shareholders who receive dividend, they have to pay the tax. The onus is on the shareholders for the dividend which they receive from the companies. So this is another change which they made. This creates an anomaly. Anomaly means when companies pay dividends, there is no tax impact on them since the dividend distribution tax is withdrawn. Whereas when the same reserves are used to buy back shares, companies are required to pay buyback taxes. Actually, talking about dividend distribution tax, which was there earlier, the time it was almost, if you do a small simple calculation, it used to come to 20.56% dividend distribution tax, which was there earlier, which has been now removed. So actually, if you see the clear arithmetic, Dividend distribution was at 20.56, and the tax on buyback tax, it stands at 23.8. So again, from the part of the revenue part of the collection, tax collection, it has increased by this change in the law, income tax law. It has increased by 3.24%. That much of revenue of buyback, it results in 3.24% more revenue to the government from the point of view of revenue. Then regarding examples, there are plenty. Earlier, what used to happen? Earlier, suppose if you imagine one company share is issued at 10 rupees and buyback is at 100 rupees. What is the difference? The difference is 90 rupees. Earlier, what used to happen? This 90 rupees used to be charged to the individual or to the shareholder under capital gain tax, depending on the period of the holding. It could be short or long. So depending on that, it used to get charged. But now what is happening? Same example, 10 rupees share is bought at 100 rupees. There is a difference of 90%, 90 rupees. There is a difference of 90 rupees. And now the buyback tax is approximately 23.8% on this 90 rupees, which the company has to pay. So this is the difference between the earlier regime and the changes which has been made after July 2019. I hope I made it very clear. Thank you.